So I'm going to be starting the Seven Sacred Flames. This is where me and Cindy were talking this morning. And when you're born, you come to this planet and you came here to learn or choose or figure out things. And to me, life is a puzzle and spirituality is a puzzle. And what is it you need to find and learn? And there's so much to practice, there's so much to do, there's so much to undo and then redo. So there's a lot of deprogramming and reprogramming. And every time we try or learn something new, there's a deprogramming or a reprogramming. Because every time you get rid of something, you got to put something in. And these books connect with what they say is fifth dimension beings. There's a lot of controversy, a lot of different kinds of things, Crystal? Um, yeah, I was gone since Wednesday, so I just came back on, Bird Lady. So there's a lot of controversy about the White Brotherhood. There's a lot of controversy about a lot of things. And the negative side is always trying to find some sort of distorted fear you can bring in. And so figuring it out is they knew in this time of change it would be very hard for people because they had thousands of years to remove what is true and good and to put in there whatever they wanted you to believe or keep you afraid. So when I'm sharing knowledge, it's you get to choose. I'm not telling you what to do. And so each one of these have prayers, have different things. And when you understand chakras, each one of them, like I say, these in the Bible, they say, do not violate the Holy of Holies. The chakras are seven sacred flames. You got seven of them in front, seven in back. And people just want to open them all up and look around in other people. That's not what it's about. And we're going to be moving into a higher energy where anybody that practices Reiki won't be able to do that. And you're going to see a lot of Reiki practitioners. They can't, no matter what they do, it won't affect your energies. And so knowing these, like we have these seven chakras, and then they say there's five secret chakras, five of them that are out here. And it said that in the Telos books that I finished reading those four books. And it talks about these five other flames that are outside in your energetic field. And these connections are really important. Like today, Cindy says, the color is emerald green. So choosing to use that color throughout the day, understanding prayers, understanding your meditations, understanding your focus, and what is it new you're going to learn? Because if we're going into the fifth dimension, you have to learn everything new. You can't hang on to the old. But everybody is afraid of so many things and they don't want to let go of the old. Everybody wants to hide behind Archangel Michael. Everybody wants to hide behind the Bible or Jesus, waiting for Jesus to blink. He's going to come and he's going to be really, should I blink or shouldn't I? And it's not that way. It's like, I need to change me. I need to put the right things here. Because when I'm going into these higher places, I need to have done the work. I need to have transformed my fears, my disbelief, whatever it is that's inside me that's keeping me vibrating low. And so finding these different things help you to shift. And that's why I'm sharing these books by reading them. And you decide, like I say, you can find these books, you can find sites, you can find all kinds of things. And I'm trying to give everybody information because I went through a lot of dysfunctions. I went through a lot of confusion. I went through a lot of hardships. And I went through a lot of fears. Because natives for 500 years were basically destroyed, taken from their original beliefs, and made to believe that even their own culture is an evil practice. And that's a real mind twister when you are made to believe that there is something there and you fear it and you don't know what to believe. And then you look at Buddhism. Why are these Buddhists all so happy to be practicing Buddhism? When you look at the Sikhs, why are they so happy to be practicing that? When you look at the Jews, why are they so happy practicing that? And they all have their different practices they feel safe in. And so this is where you have to figure this out. And there's lots out there. There's lots and lots of garbage. There's lots and lots of things that are not harmonious or positive for people. And people just want to jump into anything. You know, if you go to Christianity, there's so many kinds of churches. And you can follow any one of them. Like the Baptists fight with the Anglicans and the Roman Catholics and that, and they all say they're Christian. And I'm like, but why are you all fighting? I'm going to be reading the Seven Sacred Flames. And so, like I say, in the Telos, 7 chakras on the body, 5 out here, and then I tell you about 8th, 9th, and 10th above here, and then there's higher ones. But there's a lot of different beliefs, and this morning Cindy was talking about it, and I'm like, you have your own puzzle. You came here to figure out things and learn, deciding what you want to choose. People want to say they believe in the 5th dimension, but they don't understand it, and it's all new, and people are saying a lot of different things. So there's lots of teachers. There's been many, many teachers. We've been on this planet for millions of years. And we got to start waking up and going, well, dark side has had a long time to deceive us and create fear. We need to focus on the light and find the practices that are going to bring the change. And this is why I'm trying to read for you guys, give you a lot of answers. And so I'm going to just start with a dedication. It says, "It is my honor and privilege to dedicate this book to all the masters of wisdom, to this planetary hierarchy, and to the entire spirit of the Great White Brotherhood. This material is published as a tribute in a deep gratitude for the Ascended Masters' relentless devotion, patience, love, and determination in assisting each of us individually and all of humanity on earth to move beyond the long dark night we have all endured for so long." And that's where we're moving through this darkness now. We're ready to decide to shift and change into something new. And it is a long dark night. It's been thousands of years, and now we're ready to say, okay, I'm going to do this. This vast wealth of information and wisdom the masters have shared with us, especially in the last 100 years, has truly prepared us for the great awakening that is now taking place for the ascension of the earth and humanity. I also dedicate this book in gratitude to Animar, the Lemurian Brotherhood of Light and Telos, who have kept the ascension flame burning bright on behalf of the surface dwellers for the last 12,000 years, and continue to do so until we gain enough maturity and mastery as a race to do it for ourselves. And it says, acknowledgement. I wish to express my great gratitude to all my friends around the world who have supported my work and the emergence of the Lemurian mission. I also thank the various publishers for making Telos material available in their own countries and languages. So you might be able to find these in your country and in your languages. I express my deepest gratitude to the members of Telos Worldwide Foundation in Montreal, who have worked tirelessly in creating a structure that needs to be in place in preparation for the huge expansion in human consciousness expected to take place in the years 2012. So we're way past that. I thank especially Lynn Quillett, the president of the foundation, who has volunteered her time many hours and weeks for the last 4 years in order to assure the success and continuation of the work and the role of Telos Worldwide Foundation is destined to accomplish worldwide as humanity awakens to their divine potential. I also want to thank Gaston Templeman, president of Telos France, who works diligently to assist and prepare the expansion of the Lemurian mission in France and Europe, now and in the years to come. Without all you, the miracle of love which now manifests through the reconnection of our Telos family and the preparation of the emergence among us could not take place in this wondrous way. It is presently taking place. Those of us who are firmly engaged in this work feel more and more the tangible qualities of their love and constant support. To all of you, I express my deepest gratitude and eternal friendship. It is well indicated for me to mention the teachings of the Masters of Wisdom channeled through Geraldine Innocenti between the years 1950 and 59. During that time, Geraldine's twin flame, Master Elmoira, covered approximately 15,000 pages of original dictation from various ascended masters through the Bridge of Freedom dispensation. Her channeling abilities were remarkable. The ascended masters brought to humanity a wealth of information and wisdom through her gifted abilities. The teachings given through the messengers, Guy Ballard and Geraldine Innocenti, in the first part of the 20th century are really one. They cannot be separated as originated from the same source, complementing each other. Some information in this book, such as a description of various retreats, come from the teachings of the Bridge to Freedom dispensation. And then the preface. In the light and love of the Creator, we greet you today. It is with much joy in our hearts that we bring you knowledge of the sacred flames. The material herein presented to you with an opportunity to increase your understandings of the Ascended Master teachings. For those of you who will attune yourself to the vibration of each ray and each master will initiate in your consciousness a personal experience of the koan and the brotherhood serving on the ray you are now connecting with. We invite you to gather with us as you read our words and as you connect with the invisible world written between the lines that speak directly to your heart. We suggest, therefore, that each time you begin to read this material, take a quiet moment to go into a secret chamber of your heart to petition a personal experience with the Master serving on the ray you are contemplating. Don't hesitate to ask for healing, for knowledge, and for increased wisdom. As you read each chapter, you will feel the presence of the Master and the vibrations of that particular ray. This will give you the opportunity to develop a personal relationship with various ascended beings, enabling you to know them more deeply. We offer ourselves to you as mentors and guides in your awakening. All of us who speak to you from the pages of this book are members of a large family of light who love you so dearly. Each step of your awakening presents to you an opportunity for joy and understanding that is unsurpassed in your evolution. It opens for you a door in your own mastery and seat for your own ever-expanding council of energies that are guiding the earth through her own awakening and ascension. So that was Saint Germain, Adam, and the Judge. So then I'm going to do the introduction, and then, let's see, that's a few pages. Then there's the forewords. Yeah, it's quite a bit to read, and then we get to the seven sacred flames, and it starts with Master El Moira, and I'll show you a picture of that. And I said, once I start reading this book, I'll shift to the colors they say for the week, whereas I was using the colors of the week for the astrology. So I was shifting in colors. So don't get confused about it, because I'm using the colors to connect with this and with the prayers and all the other things. So I will try to use the color of the day as I read through these books, or this book. I don't think it's going to take that long to read this book. It's got pretty big typing, so I think we'll go through it pretty quick. So, introduction: seven flames of God for 7 days. And Adam. At this time, I want to give you a short overview of the seven major rays. It would be very beneficial for each of you to focus each day on the energy of one of the seven major rays that flood the planet from the creator source on that day. All energies of the seven ray flood the planet daily, but each day of the week, one of the rays becomes predominant. And that's where understanding the colors. You look at the rainbow, you see from the bottom to the top, there's different colors, right? You start in the bottom is red, and it goes all the way to a purple violet color as you go up through the rainbow. Working with the seven rays in this manner will assist you in a most profound way to balance the energies of the seven rays in each one of your chakras throughout your life. Will bring you much greater balance and grace in the process of ascension and enlightenment. All seven major rays, and later on the five secret rays, those are the five ones out here, must be balanced and mastered in order to move on to a greater wisdom and a mastery in your cosmic future. In Telos, we work much more effectively each day by amplifying in our hearts, our minds, and our daily activities the specific energies of each day of the week. We invite you to experiment with this. You may be pleasantly surprised to discover how much more effectively the energies are amplified and how they assist you. Sunday, the yellow ray of wisdom, illumination, and the mind of God is amplified. So on Sunday, when you use that yellow ray, it's the ray of wisdom, illumination. The mind of God is amplified by using yellow on Sunday. Focus on the mind of God daily in all things, but specifically on Sunday. The divine mind will open your own mind to ever expanding wisdom. True wisdom always comes from the mind of the higher perspectives and consciousness. As you merge the divine mind with your own, you begin to make decisions and conduct your life in a way that will bring you much ease and satisfaction. So you start practicing this, it's going to help you to change. Monday, the royal blue ray, the will of God is amplified. So you focus on that. Focus on the will of God for your very life through total surrender to the divine will, no matter what your present circumstance appears to be. This is the safest way to gain your spiritual mastery and freedom. As you align with your God will, you will notice that your life will manifest more harmony. Bathe your mind, body, and soul each day with that energy, and soon you will reap its many benefits. Tuesday, the rose pink ray of divine love of God is amplified. Focus on transforming and healing influence of energies of divine love. Love is the glue that creates, transforms, heals, and harmonizes all things. Take time in your life to breathe it in and merge with the flame of divine love. The key to the power and multiplication and all good things you desire. As you merge with the flame in a greater measure, limitation starts dissolving. You become the master of your destiny. So if you focus that on Tuesdays, you'll start having these things transform for you. Wednesday, the emerald green ray of divine flame of healing, precipitation, and abundance is amplified. Focus on the energies of divine healing in all aspects of your life. This is balancing and soothing energy that will assist you to align with many distortions you have created in your life. And we've all done that. Since we were children, we didn't understand, so we created, manifested all kinds of things that are distorted. And when we're children, we're stubborn. We're making up our own laws. We're making up our own rules. We're making up our own beliefs. Don't matter if you live with a family or you went to a church, you created your own stuff. You lived by what you created as a child. And you created all kinds of fears, superstitions, all kinds of stuff. So you need to understand that the universe has to help you heal that. So on Wednesdays, focus on the energy of divine healing in all aspects of your life. So today, that's what it's about. This is a balancing and soothing energy that will assist you to align the many distortions you have created in your lives. Invoke and visualize this radiant green liquid healing light blazing through all areas where transformation is needed. The green ray also governs the laws of abundance and prosperity. That's why they make money green. Also invoke the emerald green flame to pave the way for the manifestations and precipitation of all your physical and spiritual desires. So it's really important to know when you're doing this, why you're doing it, what it's all about. And really doing that's what Buddhism is about. If you've been practicing Buddhism, these chants and mantras and things will take you down a journey. Christians, they read and they study the Bible over and over and over. They put their whole life into it. I used to see my mom sit in the corner with her Bible for hours, reading and focusing on the different little things and praying and meditating on it. And she would do it over and over and over. I don't know how many times she read the Bible. And I've seen a lot of Christians doing that. So when you start incorporating these things, as you do them, it's going to bring change. And there's lots and lots of practices out there. And there's lots to undo and then redo. So sometimes we need the universe to help us to know what we created that maybe is not right in our lives. Like some people, they wanted to be married to a rock star, wanted to be married to a movie star, wanted to be part of a gangster, wanted to be this and that. And so they have certain energies trapped around them. And they wanted that since they were a child, and there's a distortion. And they're trying to find something that maybe is not what they're meant to. And this is where the universe will find a way for you to unwrap and release, and then bring in the new to heal and change. But you have to understand how to do it. And these things are guidelines that sort of help you to figure it out. That's what I've been spending my life trying to do. I said, I read a lot, I studied a lot, I went a lot of places, I did a lot of things, and I questioned all the time. I still question. And the more you know, the dumber you seem to be, because there's always more to learn. It never ends. And that's why I would love to be 1,000,000 years old, to look back and see what I could learn in 1,000,000 years. And it's really important to understand and know that. And this is my journey. Because when I pass over and I go to the other side camp, it's just me. It's not anything here in this world, in this life. It's what I achieved. It's what I figured out my human puzzle is, what my reality is, what is my truth. Thursday, the gold ray of the resurrection flame is amplified. Focus on the energies of the flame of the resurrection and restoration of your inherited divinity. So we need to be restored back to the perfect blueprint. And Thursday is the golden ray. So if you use colors that are golden on that day and you focus on this, it's going to help you to change, to become the real you. That's where I always ask people, well, who are you really? After millions of lifetimes and places and things, who are you really? And this is where in your solar plex, somewhere there's a divine you, and you want to connect with that. You want to wake that up. You want to become it. And that's what Jesus did. That's what Buddha did. That's what Saint Germain did. That's what a lot of these masters did. They figured it out and did it. Cindy is posting the colors of the week. I'm reading them, so as I read them, you can write them down. So Thursday, the golden ray of resurrection flame is amplified. Focus on the energies of the flame for the resurrection and restoration of your inherited divinity. You are a divine being experiencing human life and learning from it. Because you have strayed in consciousness, your divinity has been veiled. That's where we're like asleep. We need to wake up. As you invoke and merge with the purple and the gold energies of the resurrection flame, you will start resurrecting all the gifts and attributes of your divinity along with the violet flame. With wondrous flame prepares you for the final ritual of ascension, which is the main purpose of your many incarnations on this planet. And that's why you got to figure out your puzzle. You got to look at everything on this planet and see what belongs to you. What is your tools? What is your truth? Where is your path? Friday, the pure dazzling white ray of purity and ascension flame is amplified. Ascension is the alchemy marriage, our divine union of your human self with your I am presence through the process of purification of all misqualifications of God's energy throughout your many incarnations. This is where we manifest all kinds of distorted things. That's where I use the story of the hubcap master. And he would manifest rusty hubcaps. And I'm like, why do you do that? And he would do all kinds of things, always show me how he could manifest. And I'm like, for what reason? What's the purpose? And he would never get it. And I try to explain and teach to him, and he wouldn't hear me in any way. And this is where I use him in stories, trying to help him understand that. Rachel, don't try to get this confused. There's astrology colors, and then there's these 7 rays I'm reading, and I'm just reading them. You can choose to use it or not. Like I say, you have certain colors that work for you. I know blue really works for me. And when I grew up, throughout my life, I used blue. And it's an energy that really, really helps me in lots and lots of ways. So this is where, like I say, you want to follow Chinese astrology. Like if you're a wood snake, that's what this year is. Then you look up the wood snake and see all of the colors that are good for the snake this year. And you would use those. And some really amplify. Some bring good luck. Some do this. Some do that. So this is where you start figuring these things out. So Friday, the pure dazzling white ray, purification. So I'll read it one more time. Ascension is the alchemy marriage, our divine union of your human self with your I am presence. This is where I was telling Cindy, people say, oh my God. You always hear people say that. And I'd say, well, why is it your God? You know? And there's this higher self, this I am presence that's really, really ancient and very, very powerful, all-knowing. But people say that, oh my God, was that an ancient chant? And now we express that, not realizing we're trying to recognizing something, because we all have a God energy. And it's like, oh my God, you hear people say, is that trying to connect you with that higher energy. Have you ever thought of that when people say that? When you say it, is it you're invoking your God self? This morning I was telling Cindy that about, because sometimes I'll ask people, like, is it really your God? The I am presence through your process of purification of all misqualifications of God's energy throughout your many incarnations. Focus on purifying and clearing all negativity, false beliefs, poor attitudes, habit blocking the manifestation of your spiritual mastery. That's a lot of stuff you gotta clean up. Fill your auric field in every cell of your physical, mental, and emotional and etheric body with this pure, dazzling ascension flame. In your meditation, do this with all the rays. It is essential for your spiritual progress. And this is where in Qigong, when you're doing Qigong, you call in certain colors and you put them in your body and your organs, and you bring in these different colored rays. In Qigong, they know these colors. There's lots of other practices in natives, in our practices and our ceremonies, we use 4 colors. In Buddhism, they have 5 colors. They use 5 colors. And they have 5 teras that heal. Each color is a tera, and it's a healing spirit or God. So if you practice Tibetan Buddhism, you have to know these teras because each one of them are important. And when you see the flags, they have the 5 colors. And that's why they each have 5 colors representing the 5 healing teras. And that's what Buddhism do. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they go back to the crown and they come down again. And when you pray and you chant, you do this. They don't go to the 2 lower chakras. They only do these chakras up here. And they have their colors. So fill your auric field in your cells of your physical, mental, emotional, etheric body with this pure, dazzling white ascension flame in your meditation. Do this with all the rays. It is essential for your spiritual progress. So Saturday, the penetrating violet ray of transmutation and freedom is amplified. On Saturday, focus on the many tones and frequencies of the violet ray, which is the most magical. The violet flame brings frequency of change, alchemy, freedom from limitations, royalty, diplomacy, comfort, and much more. As you fill your auric field and your heart with the wonders of this flame, its frequency will start clearing from your life the obstacles and karma that are obstructing the way to the realization of your mastery. Use the violet flame as much as you can each day, but especially on Saturday when this ray is amplified in a greater way, and it will serve you well. As you see, my dear friends, all the rays are important. None of them can be neglected nor put aside. They all work together in perfect harmony to assist the restoration of your soul and your lost paradise. Self-realization and God mastery come from the diligent application of these flames. You are the responsible architect of your life. These immortal and eternal flames of God will work for you as you work with them. No one can interfere with your free will. No one will do it for you. Spiritual progress is brought forth as a result of daily applications of God's laws, God's energy through the 7 main rays, and the clearing of one's karma and emotional body. Each day it is important that you set time aside to do your spiritual work. Invoking the sacred flames and their attributes opens the channels to receive deeper understandings of cosmic law. Breathe, invoke, and fill yourself with these wonderful energies. In your meditation, connect with the energies of these flames as you contact your divine essence and your guides. Diligently apply what is shown to you. Seek to lift the veil of mortal illusion and reconnect with the magic and the power of the original intent of God for your eternal journey into greater purpose and destiny. Our assistance is also available to you for the asking. A simple prayer request from your heart brings us into your force field instantly in answer to your call. And so the forewords here I'll read, and this is the picture of Adam. And then it says, the judge, the one who embodies universal law. And Aurelia says, it is my great honor and privilege to present the judge to the people of earth through my writings. Let me explain in a few words my understanding of who he is. In the last few weeks, with the assistance of Catherine, who is fully clairvoyant and clairaudient, I had the opportunity and the benefit of receiving the visit and personal instructions from this being who, in all universes, is known as the judge. He explained that he is the embodiment of the law, he is the lawmaker, and he sees to it that universal laws are explicitly honored and obeyed through love and surrender of God's will for the sake of maintaining oneness, peace, and harmony throughout all universes. He also embodies knowledge and wisdom. He travels from universe to universe, from galaxy to galaxy, from planet to planet, particularly visiting places where there is a certain amount of discord from rebellious souls who through disobedience have separated themselves from the universal and planetary hierarchies that cause dissonance on their planets. His role is to investigate what is going on and make the necessary decision to reestablish divine order. Though on Earth free will has been an experiment, he visits our planet from time to time to evaluate the situation and the progress of mankind. He often removes from the planet those souls who refuse lifetime after lifetime to live the way of harmlessness and love. Up to now, his identity has never been revealed to those in incarnation in the third dimension. But he is well known by those of the spiritual hierarchy who govern the workings of our planet. At this time, the Earth ascension, he is here again to evaluate humanity's progression, to give direction to the planetary hierarchy for the administration of justice, to authorize the disciples of certain souls to assist them in aligning with the light, to remove souls from this platform of evolution. While I was working diligently to meet the deadline of completion for this book for publication, I felt his presence with me almost constantly, like a loving father directly sustaining my efforts and my energy levels. In one of our conversations, he offered to give a message to humanity through this writing, which I am privileged to present with much gratitude for this blessing. So I'm going to read what the judge said. The judge speaks. Greeting, children of earth. It is the first time I make myself consciously known to the surface dwellers of earth. I am indeed grateful for this opportunity to share with the readers of this material not only my love and wisdom, but most of all my energies, which fortify those who through their obedience to universal law will connect with my heart. Understand that these laws do not exist simply to annoy you. They have an important purpose. Without them, the universe would be a place of great chaos. These laws, which you need to make yourself familiar with, are what kept the whole cosmos running smoothly, planets harmonious and abundance, and humanity experiencing limitlessness, peace, love, and true brotherhood. The obedience to these laws keep you karmic free and free to enjoy all incarnations as divine beings without trauma, pain, abuse, chaos that you experience on the surface of the earth. When the people of earth long ago decided to put aside the love and wisdom of the benevolent and wise spiritual hierarchy to experience life without any restrictions, a distorted concept of free will, the request was granted by the Godhead as an experiment. The misuse of free will quickly became the law of the land, and those who had self-serving agendas took over and enslaved you in more ways than you care to know. This gave birth, as you know, to the world of pain, violence, war, ignorance, karmic indebtedness, and all misery humanity has suffered ever since. You all long to live in a world of love and light, but it is important for you to be aware that in the realm of love and light, there are structures and strict rules that everyone must follow explicitly in order to maintain harmony, beauty, and perfection. This is the only way that paradise, like states you call heaven, can exist. Heaven is not a place to go, dear ones. It is a state of consciousness that you can embrace and create for yourself at any time, even in your dimension. When you develop in it, you can easily create for yourself, no matter what is taking place around you, a true state of heaven on earth in which you can experience life as gracious, loving, abundant, and without limitation. This is the law. This is true love. In fact, they are the same. If you wish to ascend and live in the dimension of love and light, you must know and fully understand the laws that govern that dimension and keep in such a state of great beauty and perfection. You must become these laws incarnate. I suggest that you start practicing now explicit obedience to your spiritual planetary hierarchy and their representatives, to your I am presence, and to the law of harmlessness and love. When you attain that consciousness, I will meet you on the other side, and you will know that the law has worked in your favor and not against you. It is my deep desire to champion your victory and your transformations. I offer you my love and assistance. Call on me whenever you need. Next one is Lord Maitreya, the planetary Christ. Hey, Ian. Dear Lord, so Lord Maitreya, the planetary Christ. My dearly beloved children, I love you. Feel the sincerity and the depth of my love. I have followed the course of your evolution from the moment you landed in this solar system and later on this planet, when you were still in a state of wholeness, functioning fully in the majesty and radiance of your I am presence. I have enfolded you in love through the long dark night when you chose to create shadows and karma in which you now find yourself. I shall follow you back into the realization of your own Christhood until you stand again triumphant, magnificent, free, and master of all your human creation. I admonish you to live for love through faith, using the love to expand the borders of God's kingdom, fulfilling the individual destiny of your own life, making the universe to which you belong a sweeter, more magnificent, and glorious place. Dearest children of my heart, be blessed, those of you whose heart has chosen an interest in becoming the way showers to the earth or to the children of the earth. Blessed is the light that glimmers through the folds of your individual soul, the motivating power which impels you forwards and which keeps your feet upon the pathway of light. In the spiritual hierarchy, I presently hold the office of planetary Christ. The office is held, beloved ones, for approximately 14,000 years by one being. Then another who has qualified himself accepts the office, and preceding planetary Christ moves on to greater service to promote God's will throughout the universe. During a 14,000 cycle, the planetary Christ has 7 major opportunities to develop a spiritual education and religion within 7 2,000-year cycles, which will bless those evolving upon the planet. The planetary Christ works directly with the Maha Kohan of each cycle to develop a dual release of blessings which stimulates the particularly spiritual centers successfully nourished by each one of the 7 rays. That's why you got to understand the 7 rays and work with them, because there's lots of teachers. Through these, the conscious mind of the people may be raised to cooperate with the spiritual movement of the current cosmic cycle. You who are to be the teachers of this age to represent Master Saint Germain as shepherds of the race must develop dexterity of thought, control of feelings, and eloquent presentation of spiritual laws with their applications. You must be able to stir the hearts and spirit centers of the souls entrusted to you for your teaching to have the transforming effect it is meant to produce. And this is where, with me, I really, really want all of you to evolve. And what I'm doing here is to help you all. Yeah, good to see you too, Ian. I brought with me today the Elohim Cassiopeia, what's that? Cassiopeia, whose concentrated power of illumination has the capacity to hold within the mind the divine design and pattern of illumination. I also brought the mighty Archangel Jophiel, whose radiation of the feelings of illumination stirs spiritual aspirations and encourages the upliftment of the emotional body towards the Godhead. And this is where I always say we're emotional garbage dumps. We got to get out of that. That's why they want to say, oh, you're ADHD, oh, you're this and that. No, we're not broken. And you have to get yourself out of all of that. You got to pull yourself out of that garbage dump. You got to change, clear, heal, fix these things. So, okay, transforming effects. Oh, got that puzzle to do here. I have to do this puzzle. Oops. Okay, you got to do it again. Yeah, they always pop this little puzzle in. If I don't do it, they'll cut me off. So the next part, they entrust you as a teacher to have the transforming effect it is meant to produce. And that's where when I pray and I do things, people feel this energy coming off me. Everybody feels it. When I'm really in my mind and I'm really asking the universe to send blessings to you all, to help you in your home, your life, and that you receive what knowledge and things you need to understand and work with. And that energy flows. And if you ask for it to come in, you're going to find all kinds of teachers and things. You're going to find all kinds of stuff going on. I brought with me today the Elohim Cassiopeia, whose concentrated power of illumination has the capacity to hold within the mind the divine design and pattern of illumination. I also brought the mighty Archangel Jophiel, whose radiation of the feelings of illumination stirs spiritual aspirations and encourages the upliftment of the emotional body towards the Godhead. Through the dual activity of nourishing both the mental and the feeling consciousness, you will understand more fully the particular qualities you need to develop in order to teach the people in the earth or on the earth in the days and the years to come. Allow yourself to bathe in the radiance of my love, in the presence of my feelings. I am Maitreya, the Christ in you. Next one is planetary spiritual hierarchy and beyond. The order of masters of wisdom, the brotherhood of Shambhala, the planetary Christ, the office of the Maha Kohan, the 7 Kohans, The rays are the main bodies of beings from the realms of light, constituting the spiritual hierarchy of the planet Earth. Actually, it is more complex than that, but my intention here is to give you a basic idea of who governs the workings of our planet. The different hierarchies for this or any other planet could be described as a number of overlapping hierarchies functioning within hierarchies, all working together in love, harmony, oneness for the benefit of the collective. Those filling these important roles are considered to be among the most highly evolved beings of the Great White Brotherhood Lodge of the Earth. The spiritual hierarchy of the Earth functions as a complex government and comprises many echelons, echelons. It is not within my domain to explain this in detail. To thoroughly cover this topic would be a subject of an entire book. Nevertheless, it is my desire to give the reader some idea of our spiritual government, who is in charge of various departments, and what roles those beings carry out. These offices in the hierarchy are permanent ones, but those filling them change from time to time. To do the positions of presidents or prime ministers in your human government. Helios and Vesta are the godparents of the solar system, and in astrology they have asteroids called Helios and Vesta, but here it says they are the godparents of the solar system. And there's a lot of these names that are there we don't recognize because they're ancient, and a lot of people don't try to understand or know them. The great hierarchy of Venus, so Lord Sanat Kumara, the great hierarchy of Venus has been the planetary logos of the Earth for around 2.5 million years, perhaps longer. Until recently, he was here most of the time, but now has returned to his home on Venus, as he is also in charge of that planet. But he continues to work here for the ascension of the planet and the completion of the dark cycle. It is my understanding that he will maintain his service to the ascension of the Earth until 2012. Many blessings have held positions in the hierarchy for a long time and will eventually be moving on to their next level. They are at this time actively training those who will replace them. And this is where some people will move into these higher planes. They're already prepared and they've spent many, many, many lifetimes. And there's teachers and that trying to help you to move into these places when they move on. And some people have been shown this, but they don't understand it. I've been shown lots of things since I was a little boy. Since it's not well known who is replacing whom, I will give you the information as I know it. Although many changes are expected to take place after the ascension of the planet, they will not take place immediately. The various offices of the cosmic hierarchy held by the great lords of light at the present time are described below. As these beings evolve, they move on to greater levels of service, being replaced by those who have attained the necessary level. Those who take on new office are usually trained for several centuries to fill their new position. Changes in the hierarchy take place over long periods of time. The one moving on takes as much time as needed to train his replacement. Lord Gautama Buddha is known to be the planetary Buddha holding the title of Lord of the world. In due time, he is the one who will be taking the place of Sanata Kumara as the planetary Logos. Lord Maitreya has held the office of planetary Christ for several thousand years and is known for his great love and deep understanding of humanity. In this position of the office of Christ, He is greatly assisted by Lord Sananda when applying for a candidature for ascension. Your request is examined by Sanata Kumra, Lord Maitreya, Lord Sananda. All three must approve the candidate's readiness for ascension ceremony to be allowed to take place. Lord Sananda, known as Jesus the Master Kathumi, hold the office of world teachers of the planet. So Master Kathumi and Sananda, they're the teachers. The 7 Kohans of the Ray are headed by the Maha Kohan, which is another name for the representatives of the Holy Spirit for the planet. It is comforting to know that the Holy Spirit is not just a dove. He is a being of great attainment who ensouls enough light to radiate the comforting love in the Holy Spirit for the entire planet, filling every man, woman, and child and all life forms with his mantle of love on behalf of the Creator. The Maha Kohan, head of 7 Kohans of the Ray representatives and the Holy Spirit of the earth. The office is filled by Paul the Venetian, who is also the Kohan of the 7 Rays, the Kohan of the 3rd Ray. So the first Ray is Master El Moira. Second Ray is Lord Lanto, assisted by Master Kathumi and Dajwal Kal. That's DWJALKHUL. Third Ray, Master Paul the Venetian, also the Maha Kohan. Fourth Ray, Lord Serapis Bey. Fifth Ray, Master Hilarion. Sixth Ray, Lady Nada and Lord Sananda, her twin flame. Seventh Ray is Master Saint Germain. So those are the ones on each chakra teachers. So if you're working on those, understand these are teachers. All these departments have many subdivisions, as you notice. Most masters hold more than one position at this time. Keep in mind that each one of the rays represents one of the 7 flames or 7 God attributes of the Holy Spirit. There are also the 5 secret rays, and I talked about that. There's 5 other chakra energies out here. And I think that's the ones the Tibetans understand. That's why they have the 5 terras and they have the 5 colors. And when they do praise, they start here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they go back. And if you look at their flags, they got 5 colors. The 7 members of the karmic board of the Lords of Karma. This noble group of beings play an important role of the spiritual hierarchy. It seems that they have the last word in most major decisions. They are the ones who have authority to distribute grants for the benefit of mankind or restrictions when civilization abuses the privilege of their opportunities for evolution. Unless there have been recent changes not yet known to us, they are as follows. First one is the Great Divine Director, sponsor of the 7 root races. Next one is the beloved Kuan Yin, Goddess of Mercy. Next one is Lady Nada, Goddess of Love. Next one is Pallas Athena, Goddess of Truth, twin flame of the Maha Koan. Next one is Lady Portia, Goddess of Justice, twin flame of Saint Germain. Next one is Goddess of Liberty, sponsored Flame of Liberty for America. Her statue stands tall in New York Harbor. And then beloved Cyclopea, the Elohim God serving the 5th ray, also known as Vesta. So Cyclopea is also known as Vesta. Kohans of the Ray, channeled by Geraldine Innocence. Bridge to Freedom, excerpts from teachings from the Kohans of the Ray. And I'll read these ones, and then I think I'm going to be taking a break. Yeah, I think I'll pause here because there's a bit here to read. Yeah, I'll do the koans of the ray after I've taken a break. Again, Tipson sent me this golden eagle feather, and I received it yesterday. And this was given to him by a Mongolian shaman. I prayed 30 years to have a golden eagle feather, and I wanted it from a Mongolian shaman. So I really am thankful, and that's where your prayers get answered. And it gets answered with time and patience. And people want everything answered right now. As soon as they pray, they figure they have to have whatever they prayed for. And sometimes you're tested. And sometimes the tests are very, very long to see and know and understand. This fifth dimension is higher energies. Reiki uh, won't be a part of this future, because in the future, in the fifth dimension, we're just going to manifest instantly in everything. We're all going to heal ourselves. We're going to all shift and change. We're all going to do all sorts of stuff. And it's a new energy, but people want to hang on to the old. And like I say, we're in a 3D system, and there's lots of things coming in, and everybody's chasing it. But there's a real truth. And if you're not chasing everything, you're going to find the right things and practice them, and it's going to change everything for you, and you're going to find yourself in the future. And that's what I'm trying to share, this knowledge with you, so you can try it for yourself and see what it does. You can teach, you can share it with others. So listening to what Cindy was talking about, and when you think about, why aren't we taught when we're children to think about our evolving? Why is it not part of like school and other things? Like, we're here to evolve. Go into church or something, they stop you. You go into Buddhism, and there's lots of paths to follow on Buddhism. And then you look at all the other beliefs out there, and you judge them and you fear them. And that's what I loved about my grandfather, is he made me curious, and he told me, go out, ask questions, learn, study, read. There is no such thing as a dumb question. And there's no such thing as a stupid person. God doesn't create anything stupid. And they want you to be limited. They want to say, oh yeah, you have ADHD. Oh, you're dyslexic. Oh, you're this. No, it's all bullshit. Once you understand and you have right kinds of information in that, you open up yourself. And there's a lot of different things, because the brain and the body is always rewiring. It's always learning. It's always growing. It's always expanding. It's always doing things. So using these colors, using this knowledge, like I say, we manifest and created a lot of things we weren't meant to. And the universe is always trying to show. The universe is always trying to get you to receive and connect. And like I say, I pray and I ask all kinds of blessings and good things go to everybody. That's something I've learned to practice over 30 years. And in native ceremonies and that, we pray and we ask that energy go to the animals, the trees, all kinds of things we do. And you learn certain prayers and things and you learn to do them. So in this book, it tries to teach you these things. And they wanted this removed. So the universe is trying to bring it back for all of us. So thank you to all of you who are coming on the Instagram, because I have my TikTok here on this phone, and then I have the Instagram here. So I am trying to talk to both of you. Sometimes I read over here, sometimes I read there. Hey, Joe. So I'm going to start on again with the koans of the rays, and there's a few pages here that's trying to give you an idea. And then it's going to start, the first chapter will be Moira, and we will start there and go on through the book. I'm not sure how long this book will But if you're on, hopefully you'll start recognizing some of these beings, angels, ascended masters. Like I read the great divine director of the seven root races, Kuan Yin is the goddess of mercy, Lady Nada is goddess of love, Pallas Athena is the twin flame of the Maha Kohan, the goddess of truth, Lloyd Potria or Portia, goddess of justice, twin flame of Saint Germain, goddess of liberty, the flame liberty from America, the statue, and Cyclopea, the Elohim god, the fifth ray, known as Vesta. So there's a lot of ones, and you may have heard of them, but they're real. They're beings, very ancient, very, very knowledgeable. So this next channeling is Geraldine again. So the Maha Kohan. Few among mankind know of the great service rendered to humanity by the Lord of Karma. The name Lords of Karma generates much fear of punishment among those who do not understand the nature of their significant service to life. Only lately has the love and gratitude for mankind risen towards its august group of august group of beings for their service of mercy rather than punishment. And that's what karma is. Karma is about learning. And until you learn something, then you decide to change that. You decide to use that knowledge. Like being an alcoholic. One day you realize, geez, I can't stand alcohol anymore. I can't stand even the smell or being around it. And you go, wow, this is not what I want anymore. And you change that. And while you were drinking, you did all kinds of things because that's where you're at. Once you sober up, you stop all of that. You don't keep repeating the same things. And when you don't learn and finish something in a lifetime, you carry it into others until you fix the karma. It's not a punishment. And you do that to yourself. God ain't judging you. Whatever you don't do in this lifetime, you are going to create another lifetime to correct and balance out and do that. That's why karma is there. But we are made to believe it is a punishment, which is not a truth. And our bodies are sacred temples. We shouldn't poison it. We shouldn't do 3 different things to it that are not good. But in this world, everybody does that. Once you realize this, you decide, nope, I'm changing this. And that's where karma comes in. And it's like if you choose not to, then somewhere you're going to end up like working out whatever it is you didn't want to learn in that lifetime. And that's where we've had so many lifetimes. We got lots of karma. Before we go into 5th dimension, which is coming not too far away, we got to clean up all the karma. We got to clean up all the crazy things we've manifested and done. And the universe is trying to give us a lot of answers, trying to show us things. But people are scared, trying to find fears. That's why I say look for the light, look for the good, look for the truth. Try to practice some things. Try to do things that may change and shift that reality, or stay stuck in the fear, because then you're just going to be in karma. Believe, attack anything and everything out there, because it all came from the Creator. Everything came from the Creator. That's where it all comes from. But we're taught by the dark side to be afraid and fight one another. El Moira, divine justice, absolute exactitude in balancing and personal, planetary, and universal use of life is a law. The Lords of Karma are instrumental in that law. The members of this board serve to give each soul an opportunity to grow spiritually, to develop and externalize the portions of the divine plan which can be experienced only through a particular life stream. So that's where each chakra has something. You got to learn what the chakra is and what you need to heal and undo. That's why you meditate on the chakras. You use certain things to heal these. Kuthumi, the law of circle, creating cause and reaping their ultimate effects inexorable. Energy magnetized, used, must return to its sender. And that's where when people do black magic, it always goes back to them. You do any kind of thing that's negative, somewhere it's going to come back to you. If you're doing really, really good and you're loving and healing and helping, that light is going out. One day it's going to come back to you and you're going to get all your blessings. But everybody wants to use mirrors. Everybody wants to fire energy here, fire energy there, do things. And always know, whatever you've done, even when you were 10 years old, can come back to you. So it's not that you got away with anything. It's just at some point. So when you go to healers or you get prayed over, a lot of bad things that are sealed around you sometimes release and return to the person that did it. So something goes on to them. You're not doing anything to them. It's their bad energy. So things go on that turn around and go the other way. And that's where I always say it's like a boomerang. Throw a boomerang. You're going to see it's going to go out and it's going to come back. And to do black magic, sorcery, or any, you got to use your own soul energy. So you got to take your light and you got to create a negative force and you got to use it to hurt somebody. Don't matter what the practice anywhere, whether it's African voodoo or Haitian voodoo or black magic or whatever it is that's negative. And you use these thoughts and everything and you use it totally to harm. When it releases from the person you harm, it's going to come back and do something to you. And it sometimes will be way worse than what you ever thought or did. And that's where the law of the universe works. You can't run away and pretend. If you use the Ouija board to do a lot of stupid things and you brought spirits in and done all kinds of crap, somewhere you got to go, wow, I messed up. I need to let the universe know this. There are spirits that see and understand it. They need to help you to fix it. And every chakra has a purpose. The front is all about love and creating good. The back is the past and the mistakes, because everything in your life is back here recorded. Whatever you're trying to create is here in front every day you wake up to manifest. And this is where you start realizing and understanding. And sometimes the universe is trying to show you things and you go into your human mind, like people, sometimes they'll try to put energies around me. Don't do that, because it ends up affecting and harming me. And you project out this, it's going to come back at you like a 2x4. And this is where I have to be careful. I'm not projecting, sealing, interfering, or doing anything. I try to be very, very careful how I do things. And people will do all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, why are you sealing me up? Because every one of my chakras get affected. My auric field, all kinds of things. Then I have to spend a long time cleaning it all up and asking the universe to look into it. And like I say, the creator is always creating. People are always manifesting. People are always doing things to learn. Everything is learning. But we want to judge it as good, bad, evil, right, wrong, all these different things. Instead of going, well, what am I learning in all of this? And allowing yourself, like even going into dreams, people fear dreaming, fear all kinds of things. And in dreams, we're manifesting and creating the future and we're being shown and told things, but then we fight with it all because we're always in these different thoughts and beliefs. So Kuthumi, the law of the circle, creating cause and reaping their ultimate effects, is inexorable. Energy magnetized and used must return to the sender as happiness. If the energy was used constructively or unhappiness, if the energy was used in a harmful way, when the soul comes to the point of asking God for help for their actions of the past to set one's soul in divine order with the laws of love again, it is then that the lords of karma can give them much greater assistance. That's why you got to ask. That's why I'm like, dig in your garbage can. Look at what you did. Don't pretend it doesn't exist, because it's there. You're not fooling nobody. And this is where I'm like, try to understand this. As I tell God, hey man, I messed up lots in my life. When I was a drunk and I smoked drugs and all kinds of things. And I was angry and I didn't give a shit about life sometimes. Sometimes all I wanted to do was die and I didn't care. I'd say all kinds of stupid things. I wasn't a nice person when I was pissed and stoned and drunk out of my mind. I didn't give a shit about nothing. And there are times I'd have to tell God, look, this is what I did with my mind. These are the things I thought. This is the way I acted towards people. This is what I said to my mother. This is what I said to people. And I know that because when I die and I go on the other side, it's all going to be seen. All of it's going to get put in the Akashic record. And if I'm lying, then I got lots of karma and things that I have to learn. And then I got to reincarnate and I got to come back and I got to live through that and clean it all up and everything like that. So this is where using knowledge is important. Because everything you ever do in your life, you're responsible for. You created it. And if you made a mistake, let the universe know, hey, I need help. I want to understand how to fix this. Then maybe I can teach others how to do the same thing. Hey, Bambi, how's Inuvik? Nice and cold? Paul the Venetian. Because the karma created by individual souls is sometimes very great, the Lord of Karma mercifully withhold the return of all one's karma in one lifetime. Thus, the soul is allowed to mitigate as much karma in one incarnation as the Lords of Karma feel it can handle. And that's why lots of us are going through really, really terrible, hard things. And we came here to do that, to end karma, to change, to move into the fifth dimension, to do a lot of things. And this is where some of us, like I've had a really terrible, shitty life, but I came here for that. And I share this, and I'm like, everybody has something. And try to go through it. Try to ask for assistance. Try to understand. Thus, the soul is allowed to mitigate as much karma in one incarnation as the Lords of Karma feel it can handle. This is true divine love, wherein much negative karma is consciously withheld from the individual until he has learned how to transmute it in happiness and peace. And that's why I'm like, you can be happy every day inside. You can't buy it sitting in Mexico on a beach. You can't buy it by marrying somebody and giving them a house and this and that. That's not happiness. Happiness is something that's inside you all the time, no matter what goes on. Serapis Bay, when an individual desires to become a candidate for ascension and asks for the opportunity to clean his slate of all negative karma, the Lord of Karma must be in one accord as to whether the aspirant has the necessary strength, fortitude, faith, illumination, and general capacity to undertake the balancing the scales of justice in one lifetime. However, some individuals who have redeemed the negative karma they previously created through the long series of incarnations have only a small debt to the universe to pay off in final incarnations. So this is where some people will come back and then finish everything. And that's where it's really, really hard to judge anything as good or bad. Hilarion. It is the responsibility of the Lords of Karma to see that every individual receives as much assistance as possible in transmuting the negative karma created through misuse of free will. That's where we were given the right to manifest it. And a lot of children, boys and girls, when they're young, they fantasize about being raped, and then somewhere in their future they end up getting raped, and then they hate a person for creating and manifesting those thoughts. And they want to destroy everybody, and oh, so ugly, but yet they fantasized it until they manifested and created it somewhere in their lives. And that's where because that's where the creator and the universe and everything is trying to understand. What do you really want to manifest? And a lot of people are fixated on these kinds of things, and they manifest it, and then they destroy people. And then they oh, poor me, and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. I created a lot of bad distortions and things in my life. And I own that shit. And like I say, this dark side understood this and had people do these things, and then all this stuff goes on. Sometimes in other lifetimes, we were a really bad person and we did a lot of bad things to people in other lifetimes. Then we come in this lifetime and then this all gets done to us at an early age. And then we're not looking at, well, we balanced out karma, we're forgiving, we're moving on, we're healing, we're changing. But then it's like, no, we got to destroy, we got to be this, we got to be that, and we just got to hate and do things. You're welcome, Bambi. Minus 20 in Anubik. Wow. Yeah, it might get down to 70, 80 below here. And January, February usually gets so cold up there. That time of the year, I used to really love it when I lived up there. So, Hilarion, it is the responsibility of the Lord of Karma to see that every individual receives as much assistance as possible in transmuting negative karma created through misuse of free will. At the end of each earth life, the soul is called before the karmic board and its experience is evaluated. Opportunities, potential, service, seeming failures, and successes are carefully examined. Then the karmic board sends the individual to a sphere of rest and learning where it can best prepare for another earth incarnation, strengthened through purification, instruction, and temporary respite from the pressures of its own karmic retribution. And that's where God is not a mean, punishing God. We do all of this to ourselves. Everything is there to learn. Everything is ours. We create it. Got to think about that. What did I create? What kinds of things? Hubcap Master never learned. Dropped dead. Heart attack in a bathroom. I've spent 15 years trying to teach him. And all he wanted to do is prove he can manifest and do all kinds of stuff. I'm on the foreword of this book. Saint Germain, ponder well on the power of mercy and the violet flame to absolve the cause and the core of distress and pain generated by the return of past misuse of free will. And that's where when you're born, you brought in lots and lots of karmic debt. And some of us, like I say, I was put through things. I was shown and told by the universe. Yes, that's the page. I was told by the universe, this is what you're going to go through. And they'd show me 6 months of stuff that would go on. And once it started, it wouldn't stop till that 6 months. Everything I was shown would happen. And this is where I get so tired of people, oh, poor me. No, no poor me. I want to be a master. I'm not going to run around, wearing dirty diapers. It's like, throw that shit in the garbage and grow up. Be responsible or you're going to have to pay for a lot of things. And being an emotional garbage dump is not a good thing. Like, it's time to stop all of silliness. Then, okay, go back again. Ponder well on the power of mercy and the violet flame to dissolve the cause and the core of distress, pain generated by the return of past misuse of free will. Then resolve to dissolve the effects before they appear in your life. You can consciously use the violet flame in action to do this by invoking it daily and hourly. This will assist you to transmute the negative energies embedded in your various bodies. So there's lots of bodies, lots of different energies. Your auric field has many, many layers. This will assist you to transmute negative energies embedded in your various bodies and heal the emotions connected with those energies, embracing a new level of consciousness. The Ascended Master's fully gathered momentum of the effective use of the violet flame is available for any and all of you choosing to use to anchor it into your world at this time. As more and more individuals learn the efficiency of the power of transmutation through invoking the actions of the sacred flame, we shall have on earth a brotherhood of freedom who can, at will, free themselves and others from the shadow sides of life. And that's where lots of us are doing this. People are brought to me to try to learn to do this. And people show up in my life and I try to teach them, and then they go off in different directions. People are brought onto Instagram to learn from me, and they blow it off and they go other places. Then they're brought back here, they learn, and then they go off again. I'm trying to help everybody to discover and become who they're meant to be. So you want to be one of these beings who are on earth bringing freedom, who can at will free themselves and others from the shadow side of life. And that's what I have been trying my whole life, learning and studying. There are also 7 manus or manus, M-A-N-U-S, sponsoring each one of the 7 root races. First one, the name of the manus of the first 3 root races are not known. They completed their service to this planet and ascended millions of years ago. The mana of the 4th root race is Lord Himalaya. The Manu of the 5th root race is Lord Vivasvata. V-A-I-V-A-S-V-A-T-A. Vivasvata. The Manu of the 6th root race is Lord Miru, M-E-R-U. And the Manu of the 7th root race is the Great Divine Director, Saint Germain. So those are ones trying to help us evolve. In the first 3 root races, they've moved on. They're done with the planet. All of the above work in cooperation with the Council of the 12 Galactic Federations headed by the Ashtar Command and the Lord Melchior. I think that's how you say Mel. So it's Melchior. I think that's right how you say Melchior. Could be wrong. The Galactic Federation Council represents the spiritual hierarchy for this galaxy, which is much larger than our solar system. They in turn work in collaboration with and are responsible to the Council of 12 of the Universal Federation. It goes on and on, all the way back to the Supreme Creator. At the universal level, Lord Melchizedek perceives as the father figure is known as the great Lord of this universe. His great light and love embodies and radiates through this whole universe. The Lord of Melchizedek expands itself in several branches for each one of its many solar systems. People evolving on Earth can also apply to admit into this unique holy order. Being accepted into the order is an activity of the inner planes, and that's where inside you there's many, many kinds of planes. And people don't understand that. That's why you got to meditate and go inside. Not astral travel out there into somebody's bedroom or, go all over the place trying to go places. It's like go inside and find what you need. The biggest journey is from your brain to your heart, from your heart back to your brain. You know how far that is? It's about 4 feet. And sometimes it takes a person a whole lifetime to figure out this little journey here and here. But they want to try all kinds of crazy things, and they waste a whole lifetime doing all kinds of stuff. So it's on the inner planes. No one can be admitted into the holy order unless he or she is initiated by Melchizedek himself. It is not an activity of the outer world. And this is where when you go in meditations, you can go into all kinds of places with the right guides and teachers. And it's really important to go in there and do this yourself. I can give you all the answers and knowledge and teachings and that, but until you actually do it, to understand what you need to, and you go through each chakra and each thing using colors and teachers and that, you'll discover your truth. You'll unlock these doors, then you will teach and help others. Those who hold ceremonies and charge large sums to enroll their followers into this order do not have a full understanding of its sacredness. And that's where you can buy into all kinds of things. People say, oh, yeah, I'm going to go and pay somebody this weekend and I'm going to be a shaman. And they spend 5 hours, 10 hours on the weekend. They go home with a paper and they tell everybody they're a shaman. I'm like, it's already inside you. If you came here to be a shaman, you were born that way. Nobody can make you that. Those who hold ceremonies and charge large fees to enroll their followers into the order do not have the full understanding of its sacredness. In many cases, only a ceremony is experienced and nothing more. Not securing admission, my dear souls may walk on the earth as full members of this holy order without any outer knowledge of their association. And some people are connected to this. They have an energy. It's like when people come around me, they feel an energy. They come on TikTok and all kinds of stuff where they do meditations. They feel that energy. And lots of spirits come through because I work with lots of them. I don't just sit around all day with Archangel Michael and a flaming sword. I call on spirits. I go places and I do things. And when they come, I work with them. I don't tell them what to do. They have the knowledge. They understand why they bring things to me and why things go on. And I have to work with them. I have to honor them. When they bring me people, you all have different angels, teachers, and guides. So when I connect with you, I have to connect with what is yours. And I have to work with that. Many dear souls may walk on the earth as full members of this holy order without any outer knowledge of their association. Others who profess openly to be members may or may not be. Admission is determined by the level of willingness for service to life, love, and by the level of initiation of the aspirant. So you have to have a lot of knowledge in this holographic machine to shift yourself. Hey Jackie, you're on TikTok? Cool. You see, this universe, as well as all of creation, is well maintained by the long and indestructible chain of love acting as the spiritual hierarchy, forever expanding to greater levels of love and light. None of them hold these positions because of the desire for power. In the higher realms, it is a degree of unconditional love and selfless service that determines the degree of attainment. Oh, cool, Jackie. You're going to meditate on your class this evening? Very cool. Yeah, download lots. Allow yourself to see your students and everything and let their angels and things come in and see where they're at. And then, because you're one of them, you're here trying to help people to heal, change, grow. And you're honoring that. And like I say, call in all these masters and beings to work with you. And this is where, when I do ceremonies, I call in lots and lots of spirits and all kinds of stuff to help everybody, because I don't always have all the answers. And maybe in this moment I may not have an answer, but next time you show up I might have the answer for you. So lots goes on. The self-serving systems of the government we currently have on the earth do not benefit the race and totally misrepresent the principles of divine law and hierarchy. The forms of government we have is outmoded, and that's where we're going to change that now. The governments, all these things, we're gonna, it's all crumbling. You see what Trudeau did to our government, our country. You see what Donald Trump is doing. All kinds around the world are doing this, and this old, outmoded government ways and structures and that is all falling apart. And as humanity's consciousness evolves, will gradually be replaced with more enlightened concepts of divine government. Only those who have attained the highest level of light and love will be allowed to govern after the Earth's ascension, and this is where the Earth is going to the fifth dimension. She's not staying in 3D anymore. You got to get that out of your head. You got to do the work to go through fourth dimension into the fifth, and you got to practice these things to do it. You have to be willing to be a servant of light, and that's what I've done all my life. It's made me different and strange to my family and everybody else. And when I show up in people's lives, lots goes on. Only those who have attained the highest level of light and love will be allowed to govern on the earth after the Earth's ascension. This will be among the requisites which qualify those who hold such sacred positions. This writing would not be complete without mentioning two more levels of the hierarchy. Their service is not limited to this planet because they are universal beings. Nevertheless, because of their great presence here, the service is important to mention. So these are 7 of them here, and it's the 7 mighty Elohim and their divine counterparts. The Elohim 1 ray is Hercules and Amazonia. Elohim 2 ray is Apollo and Lumina. Elohim 3rd ray is Hieros and Amora. Elohim 4th ray, Purity and Asteria. Elohim 5th ray, Cyclopea or Vista and Virginia. Elohim 6th ray is Peace, Tranquility, and Aloha. Like in Hawaii, they always say Aloha, and that's a greeting, but it's a higher universal being. And that's where I say you recognize words, you're like, oh, I know that, but where do I know it from? And this is where you go, wow. And you can call on these beings to help you. So if you need help with say the 6th ray, your chakra, you call on peace and tranquility and aloha to help you. Elohim of the 7th ray is Arcturus and Victoria. So these are universal beings. There's lots of them, lots of kinds. The Elohims are builders of forms, representing the Father's consciousness. They are part of the Godhead and are those who create universes, galaxies, solar systems, planets, etc. They sustain all of creation with their light, which is of such magnitude that the human mind cannot comprehend it. They have created this planet Earth with their love and devotion to the light. Their names are more like the sounds of frequencies, nevertheless, in their great love for us, and as a curiosity, they have given us names by which we can relate to them on a more personal and individual basis. I am sure they are called by many other names in other places. And that's where people get really stuck and confused by these things. So I got 2 more pages. And then I'm going to stop because tomorrow I'll start with chapter 1. So it's about 3 pages. So the next one, it says the 7 mighty archangels and their divine complements. So the 1st ray archangel is Michael and Faith. These are the 1st ray, 2 of them. So it's Michael and Faith. 2nd ray, Archangel Michael, Jophiel and Christine. So those are 2 for the 2nd ray. 3rd ray Archangel, Shamil and Charity. So they're the 2 for the 3rd ray. 4th ray Archangel is Gabriel and Hope. So those 2 work with the 4th ray. 5th ray Archangel Raphael and Mary, Mother of Jesus. So those are 2 archangels, Raphael and Mary of the 5th ray. 6th ray Archangel Uriel and Aurea, Aurora, Aria, I think. Yeah. So that's the sixth ray. Seventh ray, Archangel Zadkiel and Amethyst. So that color purple, the crystal, amethyst, as a universal being and an archangel. A lot of people hear the word amethyst and they don't understand this. As these mighty archangels are the rulers of the 12 thrones of the angelic kingdom, which represents a different aspect of the Holy Spirit in the cosmos. They are the ministering services of God's creation. Last but not least, I want to mention our beloved Mother Earth. She truly is our mother who has supported our evolutionary pathway for millions of years. She is known by many as Mother Gaia, a name used mainly by surface dwellers at this time. This is not inaccurate, but nevertheless, on the inner planes, she has been known for millions of years as the beloved Virgo. So the sign Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Her divine complement is Pelleur, Pelleur. She is a living and conscious being of great attainment and an exceptional love and with exceptional love and patience. She has received much abuse from mankind and very little gratitude. Let us honor and acknowledge her today. She is considered by spiritual hierarchy of this planet and the universe and beyond as one who is held in the highest respect and admiration for her courage and persistence. She has suffered on her body many wars, abuse, and trauma than any being ever has. And still she has chosen to hold back her own ascension in order to take with her as many of her children as possible. She has loved unconditionally all beings of her many kingdoms. She has provided the planet of unlimited beauty and perfection. It is we humans who have trashed her body and created ugliness here. It is our discord thoughts and actions that create the harsh weather patterns we have to endure. When we return to living by the concepts of true love and brotherhood, we will have once again, as in the times of old, perfect moderate weathers all around the world. And this is what I say, it's going to be one temperature. It's going to be temperate, the whole planet. No more North Pole, no more South Pole. It's going to be totally different on this planet. And that's coming really, really quickly. Where I'm from in the Arctic and Bambi, everything is melting. The permafrost in the ground is melting. You look at the maps, the ice on the North Arctic area is all melting. You look at the South Pole, it's all melting. On the mountains, all these glaciers and that, they're all melting. And so this whole world is going to be different. Through this writing, I have tried to answer questions often asked by many seekers. This chain of hierarchy goes all the way to the highest dimensions of the Godhead. It is much more vast than we know. It gets rather more complicated as one goes along. So the higher you go up, more complicated. This earth is a really, like I say, in low, and people think it's hard. As you go higher, it gets harder. This chain of hierarchies goes all the way to the highest dimensions of the Godhood. It is much more vast than we know, and it gets rather more complicated as one goes along. We have this information only because the Ascended Masters have chosen to reveal this much to us. This information is a great blessing. We can use these names to call upon the beings of these hierarchies in our prayers and meditation to assist and guidance, which they are always very willing to offer. Inner earth hierarchies. All the hierarchies mentioned above also work closely and in total collaboration with the inner earth hierarchies. which are involved in assisting the ascension of the planet and humanity. Who is in charge and how they function is not well known to the surface dwellers. Let me mention a few. The Argatha network hierarchy is responsible for the inner earth governments of the various civilizations and cities of lights. The next one, the Masters of Wisdom of Shambhala Brotherhood, concern themselves with the evolution of surface dwellers. Beloved Sanata Kumra holds great seat of authority for this planet at his retreat in the city of Shambhala, an inner earth city of light. Next one's the Lemurian Council of Light and Telos. The Lemurian Council of Light of Telos is responsible for the city of Telos. The Telosians are very involved at this time in assisting the earth and humanity in their ascension process. They have been commissioned to teach us, when time comes, to build our own cities of light on the surface and to form our own God governments, modeled after the concepts of light and love, which will all enlightened civilizations throughout the universe follow. They are our mentors of the present and future who will teach us the principles of Christ consciousness in the actions and application. I am giving them the new title of Christ conscious mentors, as they have embodied this fully in their daily lives. In the past several thousand years, these names were not known, and people of the earth had no access to the tremendous assistance available by calling these wondrous beings of love to help and guide us on our journey back to the eternal freedom through the process of ascension. May you all be blessed by these names. Use them with the deepest respect and gratitude. It will serve you well. So tomorrow I will start here. And this is chapter 1. And see how. Here's the teacher. And here's what it says on the first ray. It says the flame of the will of God. It says the main God qualities and action of the first ray, and that's your throat, right? So it is omnipotence, protection, faith, will of God through the power of the Father. Corresponding chakra is the throat. The color is blue. The corresponding stones, lapis lazuli, sapphire, peacock stones, blue laced agate. The co-hand of the first ray is Master El Moira. That's the picture I showed you. His retreat and temple of goodwill is in Darjeeling, India. And then Archangel of the first ray of divine complement is Michael and Faith. So those are the two archangels. Their retreat and temple of faith is in Banff, Lake Louise, Canada. The Elohim of the first ray, the divine complement, is Hercules in Amazonia. Their retreat is the Half Dome in Sierra Nevada in California, USA. So this is where, when you can astral travel and stuff like that, ask to go to these places. Ask to connect with these beings. And they have lots. It's like you gotta clean up and get rid of a lot of things and bring in the newness. So I'm going to allow you all to go. Thanks for joining me and Cindy. Hopefully this has given you lots to think about.